Today we are taking a trip to West Africa to explore the history of the Nupe people. Today we're going to be looking at the Nupe Empire. The Nupe people trace their origins to the ancient Mesopotamian Empire of Sumer. By the 16th century, the Nupe kingdom was a prominent power in the region, often vying for dominance with neighboring empires like the Oyo and the Kanem. They are predominantly found in the states of Niger, Kaduna, Kwara, Nasarawa, Benin, and Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria. While the Nupe kingdom no longer exists, they have maintained their cultural identity and language, which continues to be spoken by millions across the region. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and leave your thoughts and comments down below. The kingdom's strategic location along major trade routes facilitated the exchange of goods such as cola nuts, ivory, slaves, and gold. This prosperity allowed the Nupe to develop a sophisticated political structure with a centralized monarchy and a well-defined system of governance. The monarch, known as the Etsu Nupe, held supreme authority and was considered the embodiment of the kingdom's spiritual and temporal power. The Etsu Nupe's court was a hub of political activity with advisors and officials drawn from various segments of the society, including the nobility, religious leaders, and merchants. Their trade partners included the empires of Mali, Songhai, and the Kanem, as well as North African and Arab traders. Relations between the kingdoms were complex, characterized by periods of cooperation, rivalry, and conflict. The Nupe, being situated between the Oyo and Sokoto empires, often played a crucial role in mediating disputes and trade between these two powerful neighbors. At times, the Nupe formed alliances with the Oyo, assisting them in their military campaigns against the expanding Sokoto Caliphate. The arrival of European colonizers disrupted the existing social, political, and economic structures of the Nupe kingdom, leading to far-reaching consequences. The colonial authorities implemented policies that aimed to suppress local customs, religions, and forms of governance. The colonial powers implemented policies that favored the extraction of resources and the production of cash crops, rather than the traditional subsistence farming and trade networks that had sustained the Nupe communities. The forced labor and taxation policies introduced by the colonial government created new economic burdens and altered the social dynamics within the Nupe society. They forged alliances with neighboring kingdoms and groups to resist colonial domination and preserve their cultural heritage. The Nupe's efforts to maintain their cultural identity during the colonial era are evident in the continuation of their traditional arts, crafts, and oral traditions, which played a vital role in transmitting cultural knowledge and values across generations. For example, the Nupe's decentralized system of governance, which had worked effectively for centuries, was replaced with a centralized system imposed by the colonial rulers. Their contributions to various fields, including politics, education, and the arts, have helped to promote national unity and development. Their contributions to trade, architecture, metalwork, and cultural exchanges helped shape the region during its pre-colonial era. The Nupe's ability to adapt and thrive despite colonial disruptions is a testament to their resilience, and their cultural legacy continues to enrich modern-day Nigeria and Niger. The Nupe have also remained steadfast in preserving their cultural heritage, ensuring that their language, customs, and traditions continue to thrive in contemporary society. This shift in power structures undermined the authority of traditional leaders and disrupted the balance of power within the communities. Additionally, the introduction of Christianity and Islam by European missionaries and traders led to conflicts between the colonial powers and the Nupe people over issues of religion and cultural identity. Prior to colonization, The Nupe had developed a sophisticated system of government, trade networks, and cultural practices that had flourished for centuries. However, the imposition of colonial rule by the British and French colonial powers led to the dismantling of these systems, which were replaced with European administrative structures, new economic policies, and different social norms. However, as the Sokoto Caliphate grew in power, the Nupe faced increasing pressure to submit to their authority. Despite these external pressures, the Nupe Kingdom demonstrated remarkable resilience, successfully defending their independence and maintaining their distinct cultural identity. Through these networks, the Nupe acquired valuable goods such as salt, textiles, glassware, and precious metals, which contributed to the wealth and cultural exchange within their empire. The Nupe had developed extensive trade networks that connected them with other African kingdoms and empires, as well as North African and Arab traders. Through these networks, the Nupe traded valuable commodities such as kola nuts, ivory, slaves, and gold, which contributed to the prosperity of their kingdom and facilitated cultural exchanges. However, the arrival of European colonizers and the imposition of new trade policies led to the decline of traditional Nupe trade routes and the disruption of their economic activities. The colonial powers implemented policies that restricted the movement of people and goods, imposed tariffs on trade, and diverted trade routes away from the Nupe territories. This resulted in the loss of economic opportunities for the Nupe and hindered their ability to participate in long-distance trade. Consequently, the cultural exchanges and interactions that had occurred through trade networks diminished, leading to a decline in the flow of ideas, customs, and technologies between the Nupe and other cultures. At times, the Nupe allied with the Oyo against common enemies, such as the expanding Sokoto Caliphate. However, as the Sokoto Caliphate grew in power, the Nupe found themselves caught in the middle, facing pressure from both sides. The Nupe's strategic location gave them a significant advantage in controlling trade routes between the Oyo and Sokoto empires, which sometimes led to tensions and conflicts over trade rights and taxation. Despite these challenges, the Nupe successfully defended their independence and maintained their distinct cultural identity throughout this period. According to oral tradition, the Sumerians migrated from Mesopotamia to West Africa over many generations, eventually settling in the area between the Niger and Benue rivers. Their traditional medicine, often referred to as African traditional medicine, is rooted in a deep understanding of herbal remedies and natural healing practices. Nupe healers, known as maras, play a vital role in their communities, using their knowledge to treat ailments and promote well-being. This rich tradition of medicine has not only benefited the Nupe community, but has also contributed to the broader field of ethnobotany and the study of traditional healing practices. They maintained a standing army composed of infantry, cavalry, and artillery units. The Nupe military prowess was evident in their ability to expand their territory and protect their extensive trade routes from potential threats. Their military campaigns were often characterized by strategic planning and the use of innovative tactics, showcasing the kingdom's strategic depth. The empire reached its peak during the reign of the powerful Queen Amina, who expanded its territory and built several notable structures, including the imposing walls of the city of Zaria. Their craftsmanship was not only appreciated within their empire, but also by neighboring kingdoms and trading partners. Nupe blacksmiths were highly respected for their ability to produce high-quality weapons, tools, and decorative items. The techniques they employed were passed down through generations, ensuring the preservation of their metalworking traditions. After Queen Amina's death, the empire continued to thrive, engaging in extensive trade networks that stretched across North Africa and the Middle East. These structures, though now in ruins, speak to the kingdom's former grandeur and its ability to mobilize resources on a large scale. The imposing walls and structures like the one found in Zaria are testaments to the architectural skills of the Nupe people during their empire's heyday. Their control over important trade routes contributed significantly to the accumulation of wealth and the flourishing of cities such as Bida, which served as the empire's capital. Their journey is believed to have taken them through Egypt, where some stayed behind, and Ethiopia, where others settled for some time before continuing their migration. Some scholars support the theory of the Nubian migration to Africa, pointing to similarities in language, culture, and physical characteristics as evidence. However, concrete historical records regarding this migration remain elusive. The rise of the Nupe Empire is generally believed to have begun around the 13th century CE, when various Nupe chieftainships came together under a central authority. Despite their sophisticated political and economic systems, the Nupe were also a formidable military power. The Nupe people are renowned for their exceptional skills in metalwork, particularly in the areas of iron and brass smithing. In terms of architecture, the Nupe left behind impressive examples of their ingenuity, such as the ruins of ancient cities and fortifications. As a prominent trading nation, the Nupe established extensive networks that connected them with other kingdoms and empires across Africa and beyond. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Nupe Empire was its interaction with neighboring empires, particularly the Oyo and Sokoto. The relationship between the Nupe and the Oyo empires was marked by both cooperation and conflict. The Nupe people had profound knowledge of medicinal plants and their healing properties. The colonial era marked a significant turning point in the history of the Nupe people. One of the most profound impacts of colonization on the Nupe people was the disruption of their traditional ways of life. Furthermore, colonization brought about significant changes to the Nupe economy. The colonial disruption of the Nupe trade networks had a profound impact on their economic activities and cultural exchanges. Despite the challenges posed by colonialism, the Nupe people demonstrated remarkable resilience and adaptability. After gaining independence from colonial rule, the Nupe people have continued to play an active role in shaping the political and cultural landscape of Nigeria and Niger. The Nupe Empire, though no longer in existence, left an enduring legacy on West African history. And just like that, we've come to the end of yet another captivating journey through time. If you've enjoyed this episode and want more stories like it, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Your engagement keeps us motivated to bring more Duel of Concepts episodes to you. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.